Good morning of medical humanities. Then we'll discuss the term humanistic expression, then the concept of narrative medicine and pandemic narratives. Finally, we'll discuss the medical humanities and its reflection in literature, folk art, cinema, cartoon, public videos, and advertisements. See, medical humanities is a blend of medicine and healthcare. It deals with illness, health, body, and the mind to explore the interconnections in medicine, healthcare, society, and culture. So, interconnection is important here in medicine, healthcare, society, and culture. What is the definition of medical humanities? It is an emerging field of inquiry in which humanities and social sciences perspectives are brought to bear upon an exploration of the human side of medicine. So, human side of medicine is the focal point of medical humanities. In detail, we can define the term as medical humanities can be defined as an interdisciplinary and increasingly international endeavor that draws on the creative and intellectual strengths of diverse disciplines, including literature, art, creative writing, drama, film, music, philosophy, ethical decision making, anthropology, and history in pursuit of medical educational goals. What is that important goal of medicine? We know that to serve humanity. So, medical humanities, now we can draw various features of medical humanities. It is transdisciplinary, it is interdisciplinary in nature. It builds connection between medicine and culture. Culture comprises of that various other disciplines like that art, creative writing, drama, film, music, philosophy, all these things. Medical humanities looks at politics of biomedical practice, very important. Then healthcare is thoroughly and critically examined. Objectives of medical humanities. It is mainly concerned with training medical practitioners to deeply understand the nature of suffering of patients. Suffering physically, emotionally, spiritually, and structurally. And finally, to critique and discourse the practice of medicine. What is the significance of medical humanities? The medical humanities can assist medical practitioners with viewing issues from more than one perspective. It helps in decision making, doing diagnosis. It stresses the importance of medical ethics. It serves to humanize medical practice. So it is very important to what? Serving to humanity. What is humanistic expression? We know that medical humanities began in the middle of 20th century in US with the term bioethics. Why this term came into that discussion? Because due to the money oriented corporate medical industry that came into existence in that particular period, and in that there was increasing professionalization. Even now in present scenario we find this thing. It's very serious problem, and particularly the dehumanization of patients. So doctors not only should have scientific skills but humanistic skills. This is that very that main sentence of this discussion, you can say. Then humanism, system or mode of thought or action in which human interest, values, and dignity predominate. So that patient is not just the customer, that is human being, and his interest, his values, his dignity, these are taken very seriously in medical humanities. Then humanistic, making human, giving a human character, and instilling or incorporating human values means humanistic. See, so this humanistic expression is prominent in medical humanities, and medical humanities has goal to instill this humanistic expression in the minds of doctors. Now come to the concept of narrative medicine and epidemic narrative. Narrative medicine, actually it is that blend of medicine and narrative included in the studies of medicine. It aims at training the doctors to read literary narratives to create empathy towards patients. Here, Rita Sharon, professor of clinical medicine at Columbia University, played a very important role in creating the movement of narrative medicine, which is centrally concerned with opening up new approaches in medical education. And its core principles are put in nutshell by her in her monograph Narrative Medicine. This also emphasizes listening experiences of patients, which is very crucial aspect of taking decisions, diagnosing the disease. It is like a soft skill course for doctors. So what are the soft skills doctors should have? That tendency to observe carefully, then close attention towards the patients, active listening to the problems of patients, empathy towards the patients, emotional connectivity, engagement with others, with patients, then awareness of one's own psychological and emotional processes, and creative imagination and curiosity should be exercised. So this is how that term narrative medicine is defined and discussed. Then epidemic narrative. It includes stories of epidemic, reports of epidemic, then policy of epidemic. In COVID-19, we are suffering from various issues. In spite of this, all these those painters and artistic people, they are celebrating their arts. In these two pictures, you can see that. In the first picture, we find that Ambika Devi, who is famous for her Mithila painting, paying tribute to doctors. She compares doctors with God Vishnu, protecting the humanity. In the second painting, you have Apindra Swain's art shows mythological figures wearing face masks. See, in this way, it is very suggestive that message given to all these human beings to protect themselves wearing the mask. Now, you can find in present scenario medical humanities getting space in advertisements, even cartoons. Online education, you know, it is practiced nowadays in advertisements shown. In cartoon also, you find that coronavirus is there. So in this way, this is prominent space that is there of this a particular disease when in this pandemic situation. I would like to give one example here of pandemic story and how that medical humanities and literature are interconnected. The story is The Last Leaf by O. Henry. In this story, we find that there are two friends, Jonesy and Sue. Jonesy is suffering from pneumonia, it's endemic disease, and in that, this Sue is supporting her psychologically. Doctors even uh, tells Sue that this Jonesy is depressed and she is not giving response to the medicine, so it's very important to support her psychologically. What is the assumption of Jonesy? She is depressed, she is under stress, and she feels that she is going to die. And she feels or thinks that with the last leaf she will die. And the leaf on the vine she is counting every day. Finally, the Behrman, the third character, who is a neighbor of these two, helps in this situation, and he draws that last leaf or the leaf on the vine, and without knowing this Jonesy. And finally, looking towards that last leaf, she started curing. This is how you can see that if you want to support patient, that empathy is required, and doctors should show empathy in addition to these medicines. So everybody has certain story of pandemic. In COVID-19, everybody has suffered. So if you want to preserve that the literature in such situations, you need to add into something. So here I would like to conclude my presentation with this thought: what medical facilities are given and to what extent is not the subject matter of medical humanities, but it is considered as important to know who are denied health access. So, what is given is not important. So, and for what reasons? Thus, it is critical discourse. Medical humanities enables to ask questions about crucial issues of social importance like life and its value. So thank you.